Hello, everybody. This is Shelley Weeks. It is October 6, 2019, and this is going to be an Evernote training specifically for our team. I have Kate and Jennifer here now. I know I've heard from at least 4 or 5 other people who are about to log in. So if you gals see any questions via Facebook Messenger or anything like that that I miss, nudge them. I've sent the link out every which way. And let's just kind of find out from you guys where you are, where you're located, kind of on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you land on the use of Evernote? 1 is just seeing it for the first time in your life. 10 is you teach other people how to use Evernote, and what you're looking to get out of our time here together. Real quick, Kate, want to go first?
Sure. I am in South Jordan, Utah, and I use Evernote. Shelley started me off on Evernote right away 6 years ago. And first I was just using the free version and just kind of saving a bunch of stuff. And I went to it's not the medium, it's whatever the next version, I'm on a level 2 version of Evernote. Mm-hmm. And I still use it to save just about everything, my pictures and any scripts that I've come across that people use, like for examples of a green dot script, or what do you say when you call, or, things like that. Mm-hmm. And I have a whole folder just for virtual party stuff. So I'm using it a lot more, and I just this week attempted to share all my recipes for Christmas, and that took a while to figure it out, but I kind of got it figured out. I still need to kind of clean it up a little bit, but moving right along.
That's what we're going to actually be focusing on is it's a higher level kind of Evernote on how you make like a recipe collection or something more involved like that references other notes in Evernote. So very good. Kate, on a scale of 1 to 10, real quick, you're I'd say you're 6, 7, girl.
You're what's your question, Shelley?
I said on a scale of 1 to 10. Sounds like you're a pretty advanced user of Evernote. Great.
Oh, I'd probably say maybe a 7.
All right, there you go. How about you, Jennifer? What's your use level?
I would say probably like a 3. I've used it over the years only to collect Evernotes that other folks have given me. Mm-hmm. And I've copied and pasted from them, and I've attempted to try to change other folks' Evernotes so that I can share them. I'm not good with sharing, so I would love to know how to properly share them with other folks. And just get more proficient to be able to use them in my business every day.
Cool. Good. And on a scale of 1, you said a 3, right?
Yep.
Good. All right. And Miss Kathy just joined us. You're muted, Kathy. We were just kind of telling where you think you land on the use of Evernote from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you teach others how to use it. And
5 or 6.
Say that again?
Maybe a 5 or a 6.
I love it. Very good. A 5 or a 6.
I got lots of room to grow.
Room to grow. That's a good thing. I love it. Okay. And Kathy's been asking me to do this class specifically, and several folks have, so I'm really glad that you were able to make it. Very good. Athena just joined us. I can't see you, but can you hear us okay, Athena?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Very good. So tell us where you are in the use of Evernote on a scale of 1 to 10, and your biggest questions about it, real quick.
I would say a 2. I'm just used to using Microsoft Word and on a computer, and I haven't figured out how to put this towards the business. So definitely willing to learn all kinds of stuff.
Okay, very good. All right, very good. If you have access to Brittany and can nudge her, because I know she wanted to see this as well. So kind of a backstory a little bit. If I do my job right with you today, you will leave here going, oh my gosh, there's so much more I can do with Evernote, and your head will be spinning, and you'll wake up at 3 in the morning thinking of additional ways to use it, because that means that I really inspired you and put the tools in your hands to be able to use it. That said, if you are brand spanking new to Evernote, what we're going to be talking about is a fairly, like if you're brand spanking new to Evernote, you're Evernote 101 kind of girl. 201, 301, 401. This conversation today is an Evernote 601, 701 level class. So it assumes that you kind of have the basis. You'll get a lot out of this, but you may have to kind of not target doing these levels of things, but kind of start off a little bit slower. So no worries, you'll get good stuff out of this. But Evernote is not necessarily as intuitive as other tools that you might be using. And also, we love technology, right? But technology changes constantly. So even during the time I stumbled upon Evernote in 2013 and started using it for my business, and have kind of evolved to being the person who teaches other folks how to use it for Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef's had me to national conference, teach some of those major seminars a couple years running. And so I know it very well, and I'm using it at a very high level, but it didn't start out that way. So it's not like you take with Evernote and you set aside a month to learn it and then you start using it. You start using it today on your business, and you add to it and add to it and add to it. Okay. So as when I share my screen and you look at my Evernote, it's going to look overwhelming. There's over 13,000 notes in my Evernote. That's a lot of content. Okay. And I'm super good at finding it because I've organized it in a certain way. So we're going to focus specifically on how to make notes in Evernote that are things like a digital host packet or a recipe collection or something like I make for our team. It's called our team's quick links. It's a single note, and it's just packed full of resources that launch and access other notes. So I'm going to show you how to make those and how to take, say, one of mine and turn it into yours, which is what Kathy was specifically saying, right? Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. While I'm doing it, you're going to see me actually use and demonstrate a lot of my own systems. So to keep track of this and to stay focused on what I'm teaching you right now, I'm going to recommend that you grab a piece of paper, and whenever you see something like one of my host notes or the way I search for something, write those all down, capture those in the moment, but try to stay focused on where we're going, which means also you probably don't want to be looking at your own Evernote while I'm showing you mine. Okay, couple like baseline parameters of Evernote is that depending on how you use it, it's going to look slightly different. So are you on a PC versus a Mac? They look different. They do the same things, but they look different. Are you using it on a cell phone or on a computer? They do the same things, but they look different. And in fact, they sync together so that if I'm sitting here working at my computer on Evernote and, oh my gosh, I got to go pick up the kids from school, and I dash out the door with my phone in my hand, whatever I was just working on is now updated and accurate in that cell phone in Evernote, right? Okay. Are you using Evernote from the website, evernote.com, or did you download it as an app on your computer? Because those look different too. Okay. So far so good?
Yes.
Kelly,
Yeah.
can I ask a quick question? Shelley, what do you recommend? Do you recommend us downloading it or using it from the .com? Because I know, like on my phone version, I've tried to do the app, and then anytime I try to download it, takes me to the .com to log on, and then takes me to my app. So which do you suggest?
So thanks for asking that. My recommendation, if you're brand new and using it, I'm going to highly recommend that you go to evernote.com and you download it onto the computer that you use most often. Yes, download the app on your phone, but learn it and get comfortable with it on whatever computer you use regularly. And using it from evernote.com works, but it's not as easy at all. So I actually don't even recommend running it from evernote.com. You can, okay, if the child spilled a milkshake all over your computer and it dies, and in the same day you lost your cell phone and you've got to go to the library to find a computer with a computer access, evernote.com, and log in, and all of your stuff is there, safe and sound.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if we started on .com, if we download the app.
No,
They all
same login, same password. In fact, I am routinely logged in to Evernote on my computer, on my phone, on my iPad. And then if I need to, I am on my husband's computer and I log in, and all of the stuff syncs instantly. That's one of the glorious things about Evernote. It's
Awesome, thank you.
updated and right there. But if you're struggling with it, one of the reasons might be you're trying to run it from evernote.com and it's clunky there compared to as a download, okay? Okay, so there's that. Then let me do, before I can get into the nitty gritty, I need to make sure you guys understand the way that this works. And I'm gonna go over this pretty fast. If you want to delve into this more, I have recorded training after training after training about Evernote, very detailed. And those are all accessible and available. So make yourself a note if you want to check those out, okay? So the premise of Evernote is there's 3 parts to it. There's 3 elements that you need to make sure to keep straight. The first kind of thing is Evernote is made up of notes. So a single piece of information in Evernote is in what we call a note, okay? And a note contains words. It can contain words, pictures, attachments, your Microsoft Word attachments, Athena. It can contain all of the above, and you can format things in there and make it glorious and pretty and bold and highlight and colored and the whole bit. Okay. But notes can contain anything from a single password that you want to keep for something that you don't want to forget, or you know, your entire recipe collection. Okay. There's a free version of Evernote. I think you're limited to 25 megabytes in size of content for a single note. I believe that's it. Somebody can correct me if that's not right. And the way Evernote works is it's free, and you get a certain amount of uploaded content space each month, and at the end of the month that resets to 0. So that's why you can use it year after year after year and accumulate lots of things in it and still be using the free version, as long as each month you don't reach your maximum. And if you do, they'll prompt you and say, hey, you should upgrade. And then if you want to, you can upgrade. I've upgraded to the premium Evernote at $70 a year. I would never, ever, ever, ever go back. Never, ever. Okay, so notes are the units that we're talking about. That's the basic building blocks. The next type of thing you're dealing with in Evernote are called notebooks. Okay, now the way that a lot of new people get themselves stuck when they first start using Evernote is they think notebooks. They think you've got an office with a shelf and there's notebooks on the shelf, and there's a notebook for my clients, and there's a notebook for my recipes, and there's a notebook for my hosts, and there's a notebook, oh gosh, for my fundraisers, and then a notebook for training. But what happens when a host becomes a fundraiser host, or I'm working with my training and I'm talking with somebody and they become a host? What happens when there's overlap? Because a single note can only exist in one notebook. Okay. So the way that folks get mixed up is they start making oodles and oodles of notebooks with all these different topics. And that will get you really stuck because you won't be able to find your things. So my recommendation is on notebooks. They're broad, huge categories. In my world, I have a notebook for Pampered Chef, and I have a notebook for anything else, personal stuff. Okay. You have a third notebook. And when you set up your Evernote, it will ask you which notebook you want to have as the default. The place where when you throw something into Evernote, that's where it lands. I call it my inbox. So there's a notebook called the inbox, one called Pampered Chef, and one called personal. And that's where I stop. I don't add any more notebooks. Now you might say, how do you find your things once you get a lot of stuff in there? And that's the third element of Evernote that this is where it gets really magical. And that third thing are called tags. And a single note can have, I think it could possibly be an unlimited amount of tags on it. But you can make a tag called recipes, and then you can make a tag called training, and make a tag called your shows, and you can make a tag out of any combination of words if you want to, and then you can build systems out of tags. So you put a tag on a note, and that helps you find certain things. Okay, then you can build systems out of those. Real simple, basic one is I have a tag called current show. And any party of mine that's in progress in any way, shape, or form, virtual, in person, fundraiser, catalog show, it has that tag on it, so that if I click the button that says current show and search for a current show, only those notes pop up, the ones who are my current shows, the ones that the parties are in progress. And once a party finishes, I remove that tag and I put past host or closed show, a tag that I use consistently. Okay, there's right there just one quick little system of how I can keep track of all my things in Evernote. Okay, so is that clear as a bell? 3 basic areas of Evernote. Okay, any questions at this point?
No.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And we already have established that I've got a lot of things in Evernote. So we'll ask lots of questions, all right? Or write down your questions. I will give us a chance at the end to really dive into questions. So you're looking at my Evernote, and it just so happens the note that I have selected is a recipe for nacho cheese sauce. And it just so happens I had recently created that, and that note is in which notebook? This is a test, my inbox, right? I hadn't yet moved it from my inbox to my Pampered Chef notebook, but now I did. And then these up here, these are tags on that particular recipe. It's a recipe for the cooking blender. It's a Mexican fiesta recipe. It's nachos, okay? And it's more globally a recipe. So that if I wanted to look for all my recipes, I could do a search for the tag called recipe, and it's right down here, recipe. And there's 378 individual notes that I have that tag on. And here's all my recipes. And these are all individual notes. Little snapshot of them, a little snippet of them right here in this middle column. When you click on one, the body of the note shows up right here. And over here is a list of, I do have some other notebooks because I share them with other groups of people and whatnot, or there's stacks, which most people don't even need to use all that. But when you click on all notes, now we're looking at all 13,081 of my notes. Okay, so this is kind of your home key, clicking on all notes. So real quick, does your Evernote look like this in terms of the way it's set up and structured? You guys are all on mute, so you'll have to unmute yourself to answer the question. Kate?
I use a lot more notebooks than that, but I use the tags too. So
Okay.
It works for me.
Great.
That way.
Very good. Very good. How about you, Kathy?
It looks similar. I used the 3 notebooks because you helped me set it up.
Because I helped you set it up that way, right? Exactly. There's a lot of other fun things that Evernote can do that you can get into. And again, make yourself kind of just an overarching to-do list. It's my Evernote wish list of knowledge, and work on it periodically. But again, the concept is you don't say take a whole week to put stuff in Evernote and forget about making progress on your business. The way you start, if you are getting going with Evernote for the first time, is you kind of decide, okay, what in my Pampered Chef business am I working on? What do I need to focus on? And as you work on your business, you add that business into Evernote so that it's in there and you can work with it. Okay. Welcome to Miss Peggy. I'm so glad you joined us. Jump in and you can go back and watch the recording to catch the part that you missed. Is kind of the overview, laying the foundation. Now, one of the things that we're kind of trying to learn how to do, let me just check okay. So actually one other thing before I get into those examples that I want to teach you how to do is, so once you've got things in Evernote, basically you do need to know, in order to really use it well, how to put things into Evernote, how to find and manipulate things once they're in Evernote, and how to get stuff out of it, okay? In other words, how to share it. Who just asked me? Kate. Kate was posting on our team page just the other day saying, I've made a note and I want to share it with you guys, but I can't figure it out, okay? And so it's actually pretty simple. There's and any question you ask, you want to do anything you want to do in Evernote, there's usually multiple ways of doing it. So it really you can do this based on what works with your style. So be prepared that you're going to ask me a question and I'll answer, well, there's a couple ways of doing that. So be aware, right? But if I wanted to share the recipe for nacho cheese sauce with the team, I am looking at my screen. I've got that note highlighted. Here's the title of it, my tags, some choices up here to customize it and whatnot. But up here, there's a button that says share, and you click that and you say copy, share the URL. And so one thing you need to know is that every single note in Evernote has its own specific link.
Shelley, I missed where you clicked on share.
Okay, so can you see my pointer moving in a circle in this white space? Okay, watch my pointer up here. Up here is a pull down menu and it says share. And you click that.
Oh, you know, my photos, all of you guys are sitting right there.
Yeah, it's sitting over top. So you just kind of move the little banner picture of us, or you can you can minimize the little thing that's got our faces on it so it gets out of your way so that you're not looking at covering stuff up. But the little button that says share, you click this and you say copy the URL. And I'm just gonna, just to demonstrate, I'm gonna drop my cursor right here in this nacho cheese sauce note, and I'm gonna paste. That's the link, okay? And it explains a couple things, all right? If you're sharing something from your Evernote, your audience, the person you're sending it to, does not have to have Evernote in order to open it. What they do need to have is an internet connection, because this is a URL or a link, and it works throughout the World Wide Web, just like any page on any website is going to have a specific and unique link that will access that information. This particular one will take whoever clicks on it to evernote.com, and when they click on this, it will open up my nacho cheese sauce recipe. It'll open up this note with the ingredients, the directions. I built this recipe, and I put down here at the bottom my signature. This is my electric signature, okay? So this note, it's got a picture in it, and then it's got a whole bunch of words. It has tags so we can find it. And then look what happened to the title. Did you see what happened? It used to say nacho cheese sauce, right? So whatever words you put at the top of your note becomes its title. And so if I want to get rid of that, I can just kind of put my nacho cheese sauce right back up there. And that's the title. Okay, but let's just demonstrate this. I'm gonna cut that URL, and I'm gonna go to a I'm gonna go to like any web page, any browser window, and paste that link, and it's gonna load my nacho cheese sauce recipe. Okay, so that's one very effective way. It's the way that I use most of the time for sharing content out of Evernote. Questions about that?
Yeah, Shelley, I have a question. So if you send that to somebody and you open it up and it shows that Evernote, and they don't have Evernote, are they able to download it, save it, or just print it?
So if I didn't have Evernote and my friend gave me this link, It would open up on a website like this, and I can do with it whatever I want. I can print it. I can copy and paste it into a format, something that I do use, like Microsoft Word or Notes or something like that. Or I could just save that link, knowing that's Shelley's link to nacho cheese sauce. Okay. But if they do have Evernote, obviously this button right here says save a copy to Evernote. Now, one other thing you need to know, the way that Evernote works is I just shared my link. Once you or anybody opens the content, the note that that leads to, and saves it into their own Evernote, it's now theirs. I could go and make a change to that nacho cheese sauce recipe, and it would not change the saved note that they just saved into their own Evernote. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So there's that. So if you're using this, say, to save your recipe collection, to make a note of your own, as your own Pampered Chef business, you're making a recipe collection, Kate's favorite recipes, and people have clicked it and saved it, and then the new season comes along and you add more recipes to that, their saved version will not update. But if they go and click that link again, they will open up the newer version of it with the new content.
I'm a little confused on that.
Okay. So if I, ask me a question.
Okay, so you say, maybe you were saying fall recipes or something, and you put the nacho cheese in, and then later you added another one, and I wanted to save it.
Talk a little louder into your microphone so we can hear you.
Okay, I'm processing while I'm talking, so it may not make sense.
That's good.
Okay, so I'm saving this. Maybe you change it to fall recipes and you added more. When I click on your thing again, will it automatically give me your new recipes as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when
I save it, and then I can change.
Saved it into your own Evernote,
Yes.
my changes aren't going to change the one that you saved. That becomes yours. You can make changes to it, and it's not going to change my original even.
Okay, so I'm going to have multiple copies then of Shelley's fall recipes.
You could.
Could I end up deleting the prior ones because the new ones have, is that hard to do? I don't know how to do that.
Not hard to do. Not hard to do at all. No, yeah, okay. Exactly. So within your own, okay, let's do this. Let's do this as an example. So I'm back on the browser window. I clicked my link for the nacho cheese sauce recipe, and I've opened it up into Evernote. If I say save it to Evernote, it's going to save a copy into my Evernote, and click that sign in. Okay. Watch just for a second. So it launched me into, let me see what it did.
Your most recent?
It launched me into Evernote.com. Let me just see if it saved it, if it saved a copy, which is what I was thinking it was going to do. I'm syncing. This button up here is sync, and it's basically telling all of your Evernotes on your phone and your iPad or your computer or anywhere else to make sure they're all identical. That's what sync is. And it syncs automatically every few minutes, I think 15 minutes. And again, I'm gonna, my qualifier here is that Evernote and everything else that's technology driven is always changing. So it may have changed a little bit, but what I'm trying to do over here, the nacho cheese sauce, save a copy into Evernote, and it opened up Evernote.com. It opened it up. And in the past, it's always just copied it. It's made a new copy into my Evernote. So what I was looking for was now 2 notes here, and it didn't do it. So it's changed it. Okay. But that's probably because I clicked on a save a copy of my own note. But if you guys clicked on it, and I just saved it in our team page, if you clicked on it and then say save, a copy of the nacho cheese sauce recipe will show up in your Evernote. Okay. And the point being, Kathy, that once you've saved someone else's note, it's not going to change if they make a change to it, unless you go back and click the link again.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to show you one way that I use. So our overall concept, and I'm going to basically be working with those skills that I just told you. So Kathy, this will become more and more clear, right?
Okay.
So we're going to use those those foundation blocks, the ABCs, in order to build some words and build some sentences and build some paragraphs and build something gorgeous. I'm going to show you an example of one.
Shelley, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So when you're building these notes, each recipe is its individual note. You never combine like 4 or 5 and say like the fiesta night and here's 5 recipes. You keep them all separate.
So my answer to you is you can do it many different ways. So you certainly could. You could have a recipe for nacho cheese sauce and at the, have that recipe there. So this is the way Kate's note looks. Her note has got recipe after recipe after recipe in it. So you certainly can do it like that. I'll show you.
But then if somebody says, I just want nacho cheese sauce and you've got 5 in there, are you able just to share just the one then?
Only if you had it set up as a single note. Okay, I'm going to show brownie pan. Here's brownie pan recipes for you. That's not a good example. I've got a bunch of recipe collections. So, and some of them came from other folks. Here's an ice cream maker recipe collection. There's a couple pictures. It says, "Come to me, Shelley, for all your stuff." And as you scroll down, here's recipe after recipe after recipe after recipe. Here's chocolate frosty, here's caramel ice cream. So in this case, that's how I built this.
So you wouldn't be able to share if they said, I just want strawberry, you wouldn't be able, or pistachio, you wouldn't be able to share just the one recipe.
Not by sharing this note.
Okay.
Could you just copy paste?
You could copy and paste it out of there. You could just take the, the chocolate peanut butter one, copy it, and send it to somebody. But if you want to share this note, it's going to share all the content in that note. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Good. Now,
Shelley,
yes.
What I was wanting to know is, you've got these lovely e-recipe books, and they all have your name on them. How do we change them over? Is that?
Okay. Exactly. So this is where it really gets great, because then you need to have that foundation, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say that you wanted my ice cream maker recipe note, and you want to be able to share it and not have it say that it's from Shelley, right?
Right.
And I send you the link to this note, and you save it into Evernote, and we just established that once you save it into your Evernote, any changes I make to mine will not affect your version of it. It's now yours. So you can change this and say, this now is Kathy's ice cream maker recipes. And you cut out my name and put yours. And maybe you've got more recipes that you want to add that you love, and you add them here, and ta-da, now it's yours.
And I can add them just by putting the tag on them, this tag?
You can put your own, and should put your own tags on them. So as you're looking at this particular note, I have a tag called ice cream, a tag called ice cream maker, my global overarching tag called recipes, that every recipe that I add into my Evernote, make sure I add that tag. This is what I consider a recipe book, because it's a compilation, a single note, a compilation of recipes, like a recipe book. And I put a tag called summer on it. May and June come along and I'm looking for my summer recipes and summer inspiration. I search for the tag called summer, and everything summer that has that tag on it shows up.
Shelley, when you save somebody else's into your Evernote like this, like if you were to send this to me and I saved it, would those tags stay, or I've got to reapply tags?
Yeah, because my tags are unique to me. and they might not be the same. Let's say I call mine my recipe book. Okay, so it's the topic is what we call nomenclature. And you want to be consistent with your nomenclature so that you can, in fact, find your things. Are you going to put a tag on something that says quick cooker, or are you going to use QC? It doesn't matter. Just be consistent so you can find your stuff.
So
Okay?
I need to go in. Your tags won't show up. I need to go in and tag my own stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Similarly, your note will not show up in a Pampered Chef folder. It will show up in your inbox, which is your default notebook. Because who knows, you may not have a notebook called Pampered Chef, right? Okay. So everything in your Evernote is unique to you, and it's stuff that you, I often, like back in the day when I was using this real intently, I would get directors. I got national executive directors came to me and said, will you set up my Evernote? Because I want to use it like you're using it. I want to get the most out of it. I'll pay you, they said, right? Well, I had to decline. Not that I wouldn't have loved that, but as you build the things in your Evernote, you are the one who needs to know, what do you tag things? What names do you use? How do you set things up? And it's the way you set it up is going to be unique to the way your brain works and the way you organize things. Like Kate just said, she's got multiple notebooks. I just explained the rationale for notebooks. She gets it. And she's using that information a different way because that's the way her brain works. So that's how she has her Evernote set up. And that's brilliant. You just need to know how it works, and then you just massage it and make it your own.
What if when you were setting them up, you did use QC one time and then you used Quick Cooker? Can you combine them and get rid of one?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you can come over here to, in the case of it's called a tag, you can click on tags. These are all my tags. Okay, and if I search for the letter Q and come up with it, I probably do in fact have a QC, a quick cooker tag, and I have a quick cooker tag. So if I wanted to consolidate those, I can click on that and find out, oh, there's the note with that darn conversion chart, and look at that. I added QC as the tag, and you know, I don't want to use that. I'm going to take that off of there, and it just disappeared. Okay. Because now I'm searching for all the QC tags and there isn't one. So I go back here, quick cooker, and looking, and you can say, see my QC tag, it doesn't have a number behind it. There's no, that number represents how many notes have that tag.
Right.
Okay. But there is an automated, I think there is an automated way under edit to find and replace. So you could find all the places that you had tags that were called something and change them to something else. And, you know, say there's a bunch of them, and you can change that.
Okay, I'm just noticing that you have a folder, Quick Cooker Owner. Do you keep track of everybody who's bought a Quick Cooker from you?
In general, yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. My power tools, my cutlery fans, my Rock Crock fans, it's Rock Crock Owner, it's Quick Cooker Owner, it's now Blender Owner. Yeah. So if my host last week got her quick cooker, was ecstatic. I was finishing up her party, took off the tag that said current show, added a tag that said past show or closed show, whatever you're going to name it. And she got a quick cooker. She was a opportunity lead, possibly to do Pampered Chef later. So I have a tag for that. So you're moving tags on and off to create systems for you. You know, the new special comes out and it's new the new products come out and there's new accessories for the quick cooker. Oh my gosh, I go to this tag and everybody who is I think I clicked on the wrong one, a quick cooker owner, these are all my people who have notes who own a quick cooker. And so that's a really easy, you know, quick message that I just send a text or a Facebook message to those folks. Oh my gosh, new accessories for your quick cookers.
You're so good about all your notes. Look at this, birthday wishes and everything.
Can't hear you.
I'm just looking at your notes. You have birthday wishes and their travel. You comment on everything. You're really good at that.
Kathy, you know me. Whenever you and I get on the phone, you hear me typing.
Yes.
Okay, and that's not me being rude. That is me giving you 100% of my attention.
That's awesome.
And know that, so you guys all know me, and you know that I do accomplish a lot, and I've always got a lot of balls in the air, and you don't know about even most of them. And the way that I manage to keep track of everything is Evernote. So when I get a phone call from a consultant, I go instantly to, my Kathy notes and start typing, put the date and type. And I just bullet point my conversation. The way
and
that
and the newer notes are at the top, right?
Say again?
The most recent are at the top.
I was just going to say that. So if you look at this, I always structure notes for individual people the same way. Contact information is at the top. Any details, her husband's name is Peter and he loves wine. I did a party at their house. It was 20.3 miles away. That actually just helps me keep track of my mileage and all that kind of stuff. This right here, that's her credit card information. And it is encrypted. So I can put it in Evernote, which is safe. Only I can access my own Evernote. But on top of that, there's an encryption mechanism in Evernote to.
Why would you keep her credit card information?
She's a regular customer, and she told me it was okay to keep credit card on file. There's a tag for that. She calls me up and says, Shelley, I want to order 5 more mix and chops. Place that order for me. And I look up Teresa and I go, okay, she told me when we first did business together that it was okay for me to encrypt and keep her credit card on file so that I can use it for those instances where she wants to order, and that way we don't have to go back and forth and send that credit card info again and again and again.
Okay.
Can we go back to your the shared note, the nacho cheese? I have a couple questions on the appearance of it.
The shared?
Yeah, the one that you shared the URL.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at the one that was the URL version. No, I'm saying, like, if you sent it to me, that I would be looking at that one.
This
Yeah,
one.
that one. Because when I did my recipes and tried to put them all together, I came up with all of that with a nice green button, but each recipe has this big gray bar with this huge, like a 26-point title. And I go back in and take it off of them, but how do I just not have that show up in the first place?
So what you're saying is that when you copy the link to any one of your notes and open it up in a browser window, you get it, it doesn't look nice and clean like this?
Right. Well, actually, what I did was I merged them all into.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I got you. I got you. All right. We're going to make a new note and say this is a test. And then I'm going to make another new note and one more and say this is also a test. Okay. What Kate is talking about is merging notes. So this is the first note. This is the second note that I just made. If you've got notes that actually you want to take 2 and make them into one note, I highlight one, highlight the other. Here they are. Okay, 2 notes, and I clicked merge. And now you've got this big gray bar. That's what Evernote does for you to help you if you merge multiple notes at once. And it will put that bar with the title of each note and then the content below it, and then another bar and the content below it. So you can get rid of those. All gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But that's what that is. And it wasn't a function of opening the note in the browser. It was something that actually existed in the note.
In the merge.
So how did you get rid of the gray bar?
I just highlighted it and text and deleted it. Here, I'll do undo. Undo again. So I highlighted it and I hit the delete on my keyboard. Okay. So everything within here behaves like a word processing program. All the content inside of a note does that. Okay. Is this helpful?
Yeah.
Yes.
So another question on, if I can, on putting together, like creating a recipe book. How do you, and I also noticed when I shared it that, of course, the title of the first recipe came up as the title.
Right.
So how do I get it nice and clean looking like that and all that neat stuff?
So what do you prefer? Do you guys want me to show you a note that already is created that has lots of elements like that? Or do you want me to build one from scratch?
Yes to both.
Yes to both. Okay, good. Good answer. All right, let me show you this one. And I've got a extra purpose in doing this because this I thought was actually it wasn't my idea. Another director at one of the conferences years ago had this quick links note for her team with tons of great info in it. And I thought, oh, I'm going to do that for our team. The thing is I don't think the team actually knows it exists or uses it, just despite me putting it out there lots. But this is it. It's called, we have a note that I, as your director, update on a regular basis. And I would love it for you to use it, okay? I call it our Rockstar Team Quick Links. There's the title, okay? It's a resource for the amazing, we used to be called the Amazing Weeks Keen and Low team. Now we're the cool team. And the last time I updated it was August 6th. Okay, let's update this for, I'm just gonna type in here that I updated it today. Okay, there I put a note up here, I put a comment up here at the top. It says, want to find it fast? The control key on your keyboard with F, Control F, can help you find anything in here because this is a huge note with lots of resources.
Anything within this quick link folder.
Again?
Anything within this particular quick link folder.
This note. So there's other ways to search. There's other really fabulous ways to search within your entire Evernote. But if I do, and so on my keyboard, my cursor is here in the note. I do Control and F for find. And right down here at the bottom, a window comes up. It says find text and note. Let's say I want to find what resources Shelley has saved in here about getting bookings. So I type in booking and it just went halfway down the note. See this little bar, slider bar over here? You can tell where in the note you are. And there's hyperlinks to other notes. Okay, and that is how we're going to build collections and resources like this for you. We're going to have your content in other notes and just put the links in your recipe collection in order to keep it clean and tidy, what Kate's talking about. So here I actually typed out the word bookings, and then I just put in the links that for training that I've accumulated over the years that I found worthy to add to this resource. There's a Go for No chart, there's Booking Bootcamp Guide, and there's my Host with Shelley note. So there's 3 things there. And
those are your tags?
Say again?
Those were your tags?
Those are not tags. The tags on this note are up here. Those are links to other notes. So which one do you want to see? And I'll click on one. You guys can see how it opens.
Go for No.
Go for No chart. Okay, I click on it. It opens up my most recent. It opens up a new window in my browser, whatever internet I'm using. And it opened it up. It's called Chart of 100. Do you want bookings? Use this simple tool to go for no. Instructions, print out the chart, start in the top left-hand corner, fill in the name of each person you offer to host a show or join, add the date and their answer, yes or no. If yes, circle or highlight it, repeat. Your objective, fill in the sheet. I put my signature down here, and this is a Microsoft Word document. I'm gonna open it. And so I could have put an image of that chart in there, but I actually attached it as a file. It's thinking because I've got Evernote. I've got Evernote open. I'm got Zoom running, and I'm sharing my screen simultaneously, and I'm recording. So I'm doing a bunch of things that are slowing down my computer. But that's the chart of 100. Okay. All right. Want me to show you a really fun trick? because that little chart of 100 was a file that I had to click on and open it. But Kathy and Kate both know I use the snipping tool all the time. Here's the snipping tool. I grab a snapshot of that chart, and you can use copy and paste. And I could send it, let's say Kathy, I wanted to send this to you. Paste. There's that chart for you, Kathy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The snipping tool, I use it a lot. Okay, to just snip a little picture of something, right? You guys use the snipping tool?
I think I had it on my old computer. I don't know that I have it on this computer.
It's an accessory. So if you go down here, if you have a Windows-based system, you click this. Actually, all you have to do is type in this little search box and type in snipping tool. It's right there.
Okay.
And then you can pin it to your whatever this banner thingy is called at the bottom. I don't remember what it's called, but if you right click this and say, it's called a taskbar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I've put some pictures in this note. Here's host, coaching, recruiting. So the quick links note is available for the team. And I put links to the specials. And then watch this. I actually put the most current special here at, I include it, but it's not September anymore, isn't it? Is it?
No.
Okay, so here's how I edit one of these notes. Once you have it kind of created and you want to update it, I just changed the word that said October to September to October. I happen to have a note. Okay, pay close attention. I have a note called October 2019 Specials. This is a different note, right? And it has like the new kits. It's got the cinnamon and vanilla. These are all pictures. Here's the October host special, the cooking blender, the baker set, the stoneware set. There's one. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go back to my quick links note, and I'm going to just highlight that September host special and paste in, give it a second, the October special instead. I did Control V to paste, Control K to cut, copy and paste. Do you guys use those keyboard keys?
Control K is to cut.
Say again.
Control K.
So Control X is to cut, Control C is to copy, and Control V is to paste.
Control X.
X. Yeah, they're the three keys right next to each other at the bottom left-hand side of your keyboard.
Okay.
X, C, and V. Control F to find, Control S to save, Control B for bold. Watch this. Control B for bold.
I never knew that.
Worth the price of admission. Let's say I don't want that bold. Control B to unbold. Control U for underline. I for italics. You guys probably know more of them. So the backstory is way back when I was just 18, 19, I got a job as a temp at Yokohama Tire for the executives. I was covering for a gal who was ill, and they had a DOS-based computer that I was supposed to be able to write their letters and do stuff on, and it had Word and Excel in it, but it was DOS. Like, you guys, if you're young, you don't even know what that means, but the screen was black and you had to know the keyboard mechanisms to accomplish things. And so give me a keyboard and that's my superpower. Give me a mouse or a touchpad and I'm not so awesome. Okay, Kathy can tell you because she always comes over here with her laptop and it has a touchpad. And I'm like, oh, so hook up my mouse at least, right? So I'm really fast on a keyboard because it's like my second language. But it doesn't mean you have to be. It just, again, the answer is there's lots of different ways to accomplish any one thing. What's comfortable for you? Keep adding to keeping curious and adding to your expertise all the time. So back to this, I've got the October specials. There's the October special. Oops, this one's still September. Let's go back to, here's my October specials note. Let's see, which picture should we put in? That one. I like that one. Copy that. Go back to the quick links. Get rid of September one. Paste. Okay, good. I've got links in here for the interactive catalog. Somebody just shared the holiday gift guide earlier today. This is that link. So it's a URL. You can tell because it's blue and it's hyperlinked. It's not linked to a note in Evernote. It's actually linked to pamperedchef.com.
Okay, when we click on the interactive catalog or on this holiday gift catalog, does it necessarily send people to you or to me, or?
Which website does it send them to?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking? Well,
Yeah.
look at the URL. This is the website is actually something called issuu.com. That is where this note will open up. Pampered Chef uses that website to put our beautiful electric versions of our catalogs.
So if someone wanted to order from that,
I'm going to click it, okay? And
yeah.
click that. So here's the interactive catalog. That's the new blah blah
Gift guide.
holiday catalog. I'm going to expect. Can you guys still see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is not hyperlinked as far as I know, and or is it? Who can tell me? Actually, the blue ones are. As I hover over it, see the actual URL come in, but it goes to pamperedchef.com. So Kathy, what you want to do, and Ellen kind of walked us through this the other day. So people can click on pictures in here and it will route them to pamperedchef.com. As you, as a consultant, you need to go to your website. Here's my website. Find the holiday interactive catalog and take that link and put it in your details so that when people do click on it, it routes them to your website.
Okay, so when it has that issue one, that's a generic one. But if I go through my website and offer it through my website, then it will direct them to me.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that if you're sharing, like maybe I post something and you want it, Kathy. Don't just click on it and share it because it's going to share my link.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you go to, it's not wanting to load, but if we go to Pampered Chef and I look up an ice cream maker and I want to share that link with somebody, this is the Pampered Chef. This will route them to pamperedchef.com. Versus if I go to Kathy's website, so if I know your website name, and it's probably com/pws/
Cat McCready.
Let's see if I got it. No, I didn't. And it's find my show. So I got it. I didn't type it out right. But if I go to your page and your website, actually, let's do that again. You can change these URLs. Let's say I just grabbed that link to the ice cream maker. The one for, you need to know exactly the way it's written out. So you go to your website and you look at the similar link, the one for Pampered Chef's corporate website and yours, and somewhere in that link is your name.
Right.
And so you could actually just type this differently and send it to somebody. You wouldn't have to go to your website to find it. You just need to know the way that it's typed out. Does that make any sense whatsoever?
Yes, if I'm looking for a particular product, but if I want them to look at the catalog and have options, then I need to send it through my site.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my website. So that's what my website name is. And if under my website, I look up ice cream maker, click on it. So now the exclusive unique link to ice cream maker on my website says all the HTTPs, W's, pamperchef.com/PWS/Shelley then shop, cooking tools, serving utensils, ice cream, etc.
Do you have to sign into Pampered Chef every single time?
Into the website?
Yeah.
No. I just leave. It does time out after a certain amount of time. That's for security and safety. So actually the answer to your question is yes. But you just set up your computer to save that login. Okay. Okay, we're bouncing around. Is this helpful?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that I did, so I do in these notes that that I'm making compilations, is if you can see anywhere where it's blue, that's a link to another note. So the October specials, remember I just switched this from September, I changed it to say October, but this link right here is a link to the October, my note that's set up for October specials, that one right there.
And how do you make the link?
Okay, so you go, let's say I want to link this note into this one. Same way I shared the note before. Go up here under share, copy, share the URL, go over here to where I want to put it. And right now, there's a link here to the September specials because that's how this was created. I right click it, say edit. That is the link to my September note. And I'm going to copy it and paste. That one is now the link to my October note. Say okay.
Okay.
All right. And that right there, if you understand how I just did that, that's how you create these recipe compilations. These, one of the questions was about my digital host packet. Digital host packet. Here's my digital host packet that I share with my online hosts and my live hosts. Instead of mailing them physical stuff in the mail, I've got a digital host packet. And again, it's set up for September. Let's change it. Now it's not September, it's October. Bonuses, click here for more details. Remember, I just had copied the link for that October note. I'm going to click edit and paste it in here and say, okay. Now that little hyperlink, the word that says here, links to my October note. How do you make one of those notes? Type out, click here, highlight it, right click, say hyperlink, say add, paste in that link, click OK. Now when I click on that, it goes to the internet, it opens up a new window and it opens up my October specials note in evernote.com.
So with your digital host pack, we go through and anywhere it has your
Kathy, I'm having trouble hearing you. It's all garbled. Can you, you got something probably in front of your speaker blocking it.
I don't.
Okay, that's right. If you're leaning closer, now we can hear you. Go ahead. What's your question?
Can you hear me? But I pulled it closer. Okay, so if I go through your digital host packet, I look for any hyperlinks and like your VIP host survey, I just copy paste mine over that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to take, so if you couldn't hear what Kathy was asking, if you wanted to take the link to my digital host packet and make it your own, my recommendation is that you click my link and open it, save it to your Evernote. Personally, and you guys, this should sound familiar, I would make a copy of it so that you have Shelley's original as one note, and now you make Kathy's. And then you start making changes to Kathy's. And that way, if you deleted something and you were not sure if you got it all, you can look at them side by side. How do you look at them side by side? On a PC, you grab up here at the top, you can pull a note or anything on your computer to one side of the screen and then pull something else to the other side of the screen. And it will size it so that you're looking at things side by side.
Shelley, quick question. For the hyperlink, you're having it hyperlink to a note. Do you ever hyperlink direct to your website, or do you not recommend that?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Here's you can hyperlink to anything. It doesn't have to be in a note. It just, what makes sense, Jennifer. So that's the way you answer that. So here I've got a VIP host survey, and there's the link for my Google form. And let's say I didn't want all that gobbledygook to be there. I could copy this, and I could make these words right here that are bold, capital, and underlined. I could make them a hyperlink. Paste. Now it's hyperlinked, and cut out this gobbledygook. That's better, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But like normally, like say like for like the host special, or to join your team, like whatever the special is this month, right. Would you hyperlink to your website, or do you normally hyperlink to your note? And then do you hyperlink from your note out?
Yeah, you can. The answer to you is you can do it any way you want. I happen to have notes set up with the specials, with content about doing Pampered Chef, with and when I set this all up, Pampered Chef's website wasn't as fabulous. So launching somebody into the personal website to find that information maybe wasn't where I wanted to send them.
Right.
So, but now it is. So now I can change it out, right?
Right.
So, so like here's the fall products launch, share our e-catalog, and if you look at this, that's the interactive catalog link to the interactive catalog on my personal website. Okay. But I've got here, this is, I'm trying to look at the rest of this. God bless you, baby. October. Yeah, I have a note that it says join Team Valet. I mean, goodness, I set that up before I became Shelley Weeks. I was still Shelley Valet. I need to update that, huh? Mm-hmm. It's still working though. That's the thing. It may not be perfect, but it's still working. Okay. All right. So that's a little background for you. So that's my digital host packet. Obviously, I'm not completely done updating it, and I need to do that. But I use the same note and change it from September to October to November, because out there in the world, some of my hosts have my link. And if they click on the link for my host packet, it will show them the current information. Okay.
Can I ask a different question?
Yeah.
Okay, you sent a link for like the Halloween recipes, Halloween images. One of my biggest headaches is images, because as you know, I do most things on my phone. So I have 6 million pictures of Pampered Chef scattered in between are my grandkids and whatever else. Mm-hmm. Can I start, instead of doing albums on my phone, just do albums like Halloween or games, and then how do you take an image from there and put it into your template, your PMP template?
So into your template. So you're asking a couple different things. So I'll answer them in order, okay? Because they have different answers. So I click on all notes. I'm going to go to Halloween. I have a tag. So that's what I'm searching for right there, is a tag. And there's 11 notes that have the Halloween tag on it. Just to be clear, as you're searching within Evernote, once you get lots of things in there, tags become more and more important. Because if I just searched for the word Halloween, let's try it, shall we? Halloween. I get 114 notes that have the word Halloween somewhere in it. The search mechanism in Evernote rocks. It's awesome, which is why I can find things. Because whenever you use the global search, which is right here, it is searching all of your tags, all of your titles, and all of the words that are contained in any note. So if you search for the word chicken or something like party, I mean, you're going to find 4,288 instances of the word party, but that's way too broad. So if you use tags judiciously, you can find what you're looking for. So here I'm going to look for my notes that I've specifically tagged with Halloween, and I made, let me expand this for you. I did in fact make a Halloween, 1, 2, 3. I only just made these a couple days ago, and you can tell because it says October 2nd right here. Halloween pictures for virtual parties. I'm going to scroll really quick to give you a sense of how many pictures are in there. There's a lot, right? Halloween recipes that were their actual, I went to the virtual party page and looked for Halloween content. And this is how I organized it. So these are all pictures that happen to be recipes. Okay. And then Halloween games. Those are 3 different notes. Okay. So that then explains, hopefully, Kathy, kind of how I save some of my pictures, right?
Yes. So,
okay.
Go ahead.
Then how do you use them, say, into Post My Party?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Post My Party doesn't talk to Evernote. When you're in Evernote and you say share, it doesn't say share to Post My Party. So they don't talk to each other. So then you need to kind of think this through and decide, how do I want to do that? And there's a couple different ways. You could select a picture and save it to your computer.
Okay.
And then from Post My Party, as you're building templates or adjusting a template, you then you have to edit a specific picture, and you actually have to click here and say browse file. So this is how Post My Party accesses pictures from your computer or your phone.
Okay, so then I would have to copy it into my library, whether on my computer or my phone, and then upload it. So it's a 2-step process.
In the terms of Post My Party, yes.
Okay.
And then it basically gets to, because I do not keep all the pictures that I use in Evernote, because there's a lot of them. And one of my other superpowers is being fairly well organized in terms of consistency in keeping these things. So if you find a picture and you just save it into your computer and you don't make any adjustment to the name, or you don't put it into a particular folder, it's going to be kind of hard to find it.
Yes, you helped me set up pictures on my computer. I can't find them. I don't know where any of the pictures are on my computer.
Okay. And do you still have a MacBook?
No.
Okay. So picture management is a whole nother class.
Okay.
Just FYI. So you certainly can keep some, pictures. I've got a tag called pictures, and I've got pictures of, for my kids and whatnot, and I've got them in Evernote. So, because they're precious. My mom showed up with some of my baby pictures, and I put them in Evernote, and I made sure to put tags on them so I can find them and whatnot, family tags and things like that. But just be aware that not everything talks to Evernote in the way that you want it to. So if you're posting something into our team page and you want to just post a picture, when you're here posting something on our team page and you click photos, it's not going to go to Evernote. It's not going to give you an Evernote option. You can post the note with the picture and words in it, or you can save that picture to your computer and then upload it here from your pictures. And I have a structure for how I save my pictures. If they're Easter, if they're themed, they're in the Easter folder. If they're I use consistent naming conventions so I can find stuff. For me, there's a 4-digit code for each month of the year. This is October of 2019. So 1019 is October. Anything related to October, I saved it with 1019 in it so that I can grab it quick. Okay. That's on my hard drive. If I'm away from my hard drive, away from my computer, out and about on my cell phone, that's why I have a note that's also October in Evernote, so that I can put that link into resources. So there's some duplication, and you may not want to do any duplicating. You might just want to use it all in Evernote. Okay, is that helpful?
Yeah, I'm just not quite sure my next step, I guess.
Okay, what are you working on?
Well, I think my next thing is going to be doing the digital host packet. But beyond that, I need to find a better way with my photos. So I need to find the photos on my computer, or move them by categories into Evernote, and then just move them, copy them into my phone as I need them, I guess.
Okay, so it's possible. So the computer question, like if you and I got on Zoom and you shared your screen, we could locate your photos. They might be, PCs are set up really weird. There's a quick access with folders. There's this PC with folders. I'm actually running everything right now from an external hard drive. And that's that. It's an external hard drive. And every single thing that I have accessible through my computer is sitting on it. It's a little box that's plugged into the back of the computer. Because we were moving computers around and I never actually just moved everything and dumped it into the computer yet. But that's great. If the house catches on fire, I'm grabbing that hard drive and heading out the door. Okay. All right. Okay. So does that give you guys, so our objective was to show you how to create some of these resources in Evernote. Did we do that? What questions do you have?
You answered my question about the digital post packet and the recipe, so that was great.
Okay, very good. How about you, Jennifer? Feeling a little bit more comfortable, or are you way confused?
Yeah, I guess I need to get organized about the tagging. Can you go over about do you pre-set up a bunch of tags ahead of time, or do they collectively grow in your tagging?
They grow. They grow.
As you're tagging, right?
Yeah. So as you're thinking about it, basically the way to make a tag, let me create a brand new note. So here I have a brand new blank, nothing in it note. And let's say I wanted to make a note, my note for my good friend Jennifer. Okay. I would type your name up here at the top. And then I might say, on 10/6/19, she attended my Evernote training. Okay. Way back last year in 2018, we went to Amelia Island together. Okay. I could type. I might, if you were a new host or consultant of mine, I might go to Facebook and take a snapshot, a snip of the top of your Facebook page. So I've got to put a picture in here of you, so that when you and I talk, I can, oh, that's Jennifer. I remember Jennifer, right? But tags, so there's no tags on here. So how do I know Jennifer? And you basically, tags, to get started using tags, behave as if you're a reporter. Who, what, why, when, how. And tags are valuable the more important a piece of information is, i.e. the more important a note is, the more tags you should add to it. So all I do is I click where it says add tag. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Add tag. Well, let's see. I know Jennifer's a consultant. Just so happens I already had a tag called consultant. And as I start to type it, every tag that I've created that has CONSUL, because that's all I typed, pops up for me to pick it. Jennifer's a consultant.
But if you never had one, like say like for the deluxe cooking blender, it would automatically, as you tag it, just add it in, correct?
So let's say that she, okay, so let's say that Jennifer loves the deluxe cooking blender, and I want to put a tag on her note that talks about that. DULU deluxe, DELU deluxe. Gosh dang it, I don't have a tag that's called deluxe cooking blender. I've got deluxe kit, but cooking blender, I made a tag. So I want to be consistent. I didn't call it deluxe. There's an acronym floating out there for deluxe. What is it? DCB. People are calling.
Yeah.
DXCB.
DXB.
Okay, so you could use that. Whatever you use for the deluxe cooking blender, just be consistent. And if you forget, at some point, go look at your tags and merge them.
And if you're typing and nothing comes up, it'll automatically make a tag. And then
that's how you make tags. You make tags by typing. Jennifer lives in Southern California. Southern California. Hit enter. I just made a tag called Southern California.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. I just was like, do I need to preset a bunch of those up or just keep growing them as I go?
So you grow them as you go. And what will happen, so what happened with me is that as I started to put things into Evernote while I was doing my day-to-day business, I started thinking through like, how should I use these? How is this going to benefit me? Like current show, okay. Tags for, how can I build a system to help me get my stuff done and be productive? Okay, for the longest time, I had tags that were the date. Watch this. What's today's date? 10/06/19, right? Let's say Jennifer and I are talking here on the 6th of October. I just made a new tag. But let's say we're doing business and we're conversing, and she says, oh, I'm busy right now, but can you call me back tomorrow? I made tags for the date so I could use this as a to-do system. Tomorrow is the 7th, 10/07/19. Brand new tag, hit enter. Now, tomorrow morning when I get in the office, if I'm using my system, I come in, I look up the 10/07/19, and that should be everything I should do. That's on my to-do list. Pay the bills, call my daughter, go grocery shopping, right? You can build systems out of tags. Okay. And it very likely will be some trial and error. You'll be like, okay, let's try daily tags. Well, if you're not doing them, it's not going to be valuable. So you've got all these tags and you're not using them. So let's say, okay, weekly tags, what works for you? Do some trial and error and play with it. Okay. You can put tags on and take them off. Let's say I want to take this tag off. Click that little X and it takes it off. It's gone. Okay. Tags you can use for systems. And they're pretty powerful once you start to play with it.
I see. Great. Thank you.
You bet. Okay. And so there's my tag. There's my note for Jennifer. All right. Other questions? Okay. So if you were going to start, say, with my, and any notes that you saw that you want me to share notes with you. Do you want my digital host packet note? Even though I haven't finished it, still says September, right? I've got a note with all my post my party templates in it.
Shelley, I have a question.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get templates from other directors or upline, and within the note there are several different photographs. And obviously, in order to upload them into like Post My Party or SendShare, you have to download them. Is there a way to download all at one time, or you have to click each one to download?
You got to do each one. Yeah.
Each one. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. I'm pretty sure things may have changed if I highlight this. Actually, something new changed. Like now you've got it where a picture in a note, if I can highlight it to select it, but if I double click it, it opens it up like that. And then I don't see any save mechanism for it. So they could, and then there's another picture right there. I wonder if I could highlight both of them. And it won't let me highlight both of them at the same time. If you drag it there, I've got them both highlighted at the same time, right click and say save as. Oh, I wonder if it'll work. Save. I wonder if it did it. It saved them as PDFs.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it did. So there you go. I wonder if I could save as and change it from a PDF. Save as type. It doesn't give you a choice of how to save it. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. And I love technology because I'll be teaching somebody something and go, oh, wow, that's changed. Let's learn it together. So there you go. Okay. All right. So we covered a lot and we're going to wrap it up. But I do want to, I'm going to stop sharing and ask you guys, because I will worry that this hour and a half that you committed to spending with me was not valuable for you. So I really would love to hear what was the best thing that you learned and how you're going to use it. Okay, so a little feedback.
I'll go first. I've learned about the tags, which I needed because I thought I needed to like start inputting those, and I wasn't good about tagging stuff, so I wasn't sure how to. The sharing is great. I love the hyperlinking and changing. That was huge. I learned some others, but I love your ideas about bringing them right back to your information locally, to the Evernote. So yeah, a lot of great information. Thank you so much, Shelley. This has been huge.
Good.
Thank you.
We'll see how you kind of run with this. Thank you for the feedback. That's great. And those are the things that I wanted to make sure you targeted. That's good. Kate, you've been using Evernote for a long time. Was there something that you found particularly helpful today?
Yeah. And actually, I had the same when you were demonstrating that you had the tag that says QC and one that says Quick Cooker. I have that exact same situation. And I never bothered to click on, in the left menu, click on the tags. I've never even opened it to look at it. So that was a big surprise. And now I know how to put them together.
Okay.
And you just change the tags, and it puts those all notes all in under the same category then.
Yeah, it will bundle those notes. And there was a thing I showed you really briefly. I selected 2 notes at once and I merged them. Did you guys see me do that? You can actually manage, I'm going to share my screen just real quick to give you a really big power tool about that. If you're trying to clean things up, that you did things differently and now you're trying to consolidate and like put things under a single tag. Let's say that I've got consultant. This is a good example because I have a tag called consultant and then I have a tag called new consultant. So maybe that's helpful, but here's all my consultants. So I'm search for consultants, maybe, and there's 107 notes. Let's say I want to take that tag off and put teammate on as a tag. I can select a batch of notes or all of these notes, and I can add a single tag to all of them at once or take one off. Or I can merge them, or I can move them from my inbox to Pampered Chef or personal. Okay, so you can grab multiple notes. And what I'm doing on my keyboard is I'm holding down, I highlight one and I hold the control key to select individual notes, or you highlight one and you hold down the shift key to grab a range of notes. Okay, is that helpful? And click all notes to unselect those. Be careful about accidentally selecting all and hitting delete, because you'll delete all your notes. Just saying. Okay. That all right. So great. Kate, I'm glad that's helpful. Okay, Miss Kathy. Was this helpful?
Yes, but I did, while you were talking about the tags, I tried to do update my digital post package. You can't do it on your phone this way, so I'm gonna have to switch to the computer.
You can't do what to your notes on your phone?
I couldn't get like when it says your bonus, click here. It goes right to my September stuff.
Yeah, your cell phone. So there's certain things that are going to be easier to do on your computer than on your cell phone. So if you're on your cell phone and you've got one of those links and you touch it, it will open. But if you touch it and hold it, you should get choices like to, and there's on a cell phone or an app, I think, I'm not sure if you can edit hyperlinks in Evernote on a cell phone. I don't think you can do it.
So I think your anchor to this is your computer, and then the cell phone is an accessory, to take on the road.
I used to tell people, for the most part, that every single function that you could do in Evernote, you could do it on a cell phone. I'm looking at a link right now. I'm touching a link. I can open a link. I can add it to my reading list. I can copy a link. I can share it, and I can hide the link preview, but I can't edit it. So it's not there.
Yeah.
It's not on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, that's going to be really good, helping me do that, and yeah, just gives me a little bit of homework. So that's cool.
Okay. So I would recommend that you prioritize. All right. Back in 2013, 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago, in January, all my shows canceled. I had nothing.
All your shows canceled?
All my shows that I'd booked for January and February, they all canceled on me. I'm like, gosh darn it. I was starting basically from scratch, and I had a desk full of Post-it notes. I had these things from parties. And I heard one of my director friends commenting about this paperless system called Evernote, and I just grabbed, and come to find out it was on my phone. I had it, and my shopping list was on it. That's it. I had no idea what to do with it. And so I researched a little bit, and I started, what I did was I would open Evernote, open a new note. There's a camera in there, and you can take a picture of a paper, something, anything. You can take a picture of anything, and it'll put that picture in the note. So I took a picture of the little drawing slip, and I called that person. This was in 2013. We picked the phone up more often then. And I would leave, 9 times out of 10, you get a voicemail. Hey, Sherry, this is Shelley. I met you back at so-and-so's party, and I'm just checking in, make sure you're loving your products. Is there anything I can get for you? Here's my phone number. Call me back if you have a question. Hung up, threw the paper in the trash, put her name at the top, put the date, and then I left her a voicemail. Put a couple tags on there, how I knew her. I have tags for every host, Jennifer. It's golden, because you've got multiple hosts who have bookings, and then they have people, and they know each other, and then they rebook. I have somebody rebooked from 4 years ago. All I have to do is open up the tag for her name, and I know all the people, because I do my business in Evernote. And if I'm talking with somebody about booking or doing Pampered Chef, I make a note for them and I put tags on them. Okay, it's huge. So back to this. I threw away the paper. She's safely in Evernote. Throw this away. Pick up the next paper, and I continued on. That February, I was working on this, and I sold $6,000. I'd been selling $2,000 to $3,000 very consistently. That March, we had a horrific issue. My mother-in-law had a very serious stroke, and I was the person amongst the entire family who handled it all. My husband fell to pieces. And so I was at Stanford, 70 miles from here, with my cell phone, and I sold another $6,000. I was not even in my office. I had Evernote, and I thought, this is a fluke. The next month, we had another very serious medical emergency, and I was not in my office very much, but I was bound and determined to keep going, and I sold $6,500. The only thing that changed was Evernote. So
So do you keep a note on every guest or just every host?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't keep a note on every guest. I keep a note for every person that I'm active with, that I'm engaging with. A possible booking. Have a tag for potential bookings. A possible,
so when you call the person on that
price
on whatever paper, it was someone that was either interested in hosting or
right. Or, well, in that case, I had no business. I had no shows. I'm going to call everybody from my last several parties, and there was a reason these papers were on my desk.
So Sherry, for those, were you tagging them from the host?
Darn right.
So that you knew where those came from, right?
Yep. Okay. Yep. And then, you know, oh, they wanted, like, hopefully I wrote something on the paper, like they were interested in the deep cover baker, DCB. I put a tag on there, and then the DCB comes up on sale as a host bonus. Search for that tag. Those are the people I need to contact.
Oh my God, that's genius.
Isn't it though? Okay, this is 6.5 years of developing these systems, but tags are brilliant because they help you put systems into place and they make it look like.
Oh my God, I could have been further along. I've been here for 7 years. I can't believe this.
No, it's okay. You got to start where you are. You absolutely cannot. I mean, heck, Jennifer, Ellen and Robin found Pampered Chef in 1990 and I didn't act on it. Okay. So I can't be, you know, regretting that. You got to go with what you have and go forward. Right.
Yeah.
But what I did, hopefully what I did for you was lay your foundation, and then we built on that. And you decide going forward, what am I working on? What is my priority? Is it recruiting? Is it booking? Bookings fix everything. Do you have a bunch of papers on your desk? Start there. Contact them. Document it in Evernote, throw the paper away, go on to the next one. Those are power hours. Yeah.
When you do your parties, I have a party going right now, and I did my welcome, and I copied everybody that was in there, and I put them in Evernote under the party. Now, with their comments, like someone says their favorite product was the food chopper, do you note that? I mean, or just what they're wanting, their wish list? You know, those kind of things.
I put information in there based on what I know they're like. If you were going to call them back, if you were going to reach out to them a month from now, what would you want to know? What would be most helpful for you? That's the answer to that question. If you call somebody up from a party last month and you don't know anything about them, you're going to kind of sound kind of silly on the phone. You're going to be like, how are you enjoying your order? And they're going to go, I was at the party, but I didn't order.
Yeah.
Shoot. Gosh, sorry, my bad. Right?
So you write in everything someone ordered? You copy their order and put it in under there?
See that snipping tool? I do a snip of their order and dump it into, I just got a $400 order this morning. I have a tag for $100 orders, $200 orders, $300 orders, $400 orders, so that at a glance I can grab those people and call them up. So you have to go based on the way your brain works, Kathy. What information would you not want to know if you were going to follow up with that person? If they were dying for the skillet, but they didn't buy it and they wouldn't book, they declined booking.
So when it went on sale, you give them a call.
And it went on sale, or you're just doing your follow-up next week, next month, or next 222, right? In front of you is their name and info and the fact that they wanted the skillet. And so now you're providing really good customer service. Hey, Sally, I'm just checking in. I call everybody from my party from 2 weeks ago. It was so fun to cook with you. And you know, I remember that you had that skillet on your list. And I wonder if you'd like my help getting it for half off. I know you told me no last time when I asked, but I'm just checking.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay. So the way you use
detailed as you, so it's a work in progress.
I can't hear you.
It's work in progress.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I'm not as detailed as you too, because I'm doing it on my phone. I don't know. I haven't been that good.
Okay.
And I haven't been as good on the follow-up either.
That's okay. So let's be very clear. There's one of me in this world, and that's enough. You do not have to be me. You get to be you. And if I can share a tool that you use in the way that works for you, then that's glorious. That's fabulous.
Okay.
So don't compare yourself, right? Because we're different. You have superpowers that I don't have. Your home is gorgeous and mine is a wreck. That is not my superpower. But we know each other and we love each other. I help you, you help me.
Okay.
That's a great thing. Don't let that bug you, okay?
Okay. I have a question for Jennifer. Where are you that it's so warm that you're sitting out there in that little, and we're all in our bundles?
I'm in Los Alamitos, California, right next to Seal Beach, California.
Southern California.
Southern California.
Okay. Because we're getting chilly up here.
I know.
Oh no, we're like 90 degrees here.
Yeah.
I'm in my house wearing a jacket.
I'm laughing at you being cold in California, Kathy and Shelley, because it's warm today. It's up to 60.
I know.
I'm
just what can I say?
I'm chilly all the time. I want to thank you guys so much. This has been super fun. I sure hope that everybody who's watching this, yes, this did go a little long, but I didn't, you know, if it's valuable for you, that's great. Please give me feedback. I will pop this up onto YouTube. I do have a collection of training that I've done for our team. It's on YouTube under my name. So if there's something you're looking for, if you want to look for past Evernote training or Kathy freezer meal trainings, things like that that I've done, they're all up there.
Okay, Shelley, I'm going to work on the digital host packet this afternoon, but Tuesday maybe I might call you and ask for your help on the pictures, you know, finding that stuff on my computer.
Shoot me a note. Let's set a time. Marvelous. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you have lots and lots of fun rocking your business this season using Evernote, and keep those questions coming. I'm going to turn off the recording.
Thanks, Shelley.